I'm coming in live stream for reading Slok of Bhagavad Gita. Adhyay means chapter number 3 and 37 number Slok. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha Kama Esha Krodha Esha Rajo Gun Samudbhavam Mahashano Mahapampa Mahapapma Vidyayena Havairinam. Translation in English. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, it is sorry, it is lust only, Arjun, which is born of contact, which the material mode of passion and later transformed into wraith, and which is the all devouring sinful enemy of this world. Purport means in Hindi Tatparya. When a living entity comes in contact with the material creation, his eternal love for Krishna is transformed into lust in association with the mode of passion, or in other words, the sense of love of God becomes transformed into lust, as milk in contact with sour tamarind is transformed into yogurt. Then again, when lust is unsatisfied, it turns into wraith. Wraith is transformed in the illusion, and illusion continues the material existence. Therefore, lust is the greatest enemy of the living entity, and it is lust only which induces the pure living entity to remain entangled in the material world. Wraith is the manifestation of the mode of ignorance. These modes exhibit themselves as wraith and other calories, not calories but corollaries. If, therefore, the mode of passion, instead of being degraded into the mode of ignorance, is elevated to the mode of goodness by the prescribed matter of living and acting, then one can saved from the degradation of wraith by spiritual attachment. The Supreme Personality of Godhead expanded himself into many for his ever increasing spiritual bliss, and the living entity are parts and parcels of this spiritual bliss. They also have partial independence, but the misuse of their independence when the service attitude is transformed into propensity of sense enjoyment. They come under the sway of lust. This material creation is created by the Lord to give facility to the conditioned souls to fulfill these lustful propensities, and when completely baffled by prolonged lustful activities, the living entities begin to inquire about their real position. This inquiry is the beginning of the Vedanta Sutras, wherein it is said, Athato Brahma Jignasha, one should inquire into the Supreme. And the Supreme is defined in Srimad Bhagavatam as Janmade Asya Yato Navayad Itaratas Cha. Oh, the origin of everything is the Supreme Brahma. Therefore, the origin of lust is also in the Supreme. If therefore lust is transformed into love for the Supreme, or transformed into Krishna consciousness, or in words, desiring everything for Krishna, then both lust and wrath can be spiritualized. Hanuman, the great Savitar, and Lord Rama, interrupted. Lord Ram exhibited his wrath by burning the golden city of Ravan, but by doing so he became the greatest devotee of the Lord. He also, in Bhagavad Gita, the Lord induces Arjun to engage his wrath upon his enemies for the satisfaction of the Lord. Therefore, lust and wrath, when they are employed in Krishna consciousness, become our friends instead of our enemies. Now I'm going to read slok number 38. Tumrena vriyate वह्नियर्थथादर्शो मलेन च यथोल्बैनवृतो गर्भस्तथा तेनेदमावृतम्. Translation in English. As fire is covered by smoke, as mirror is covered by dust, or as the embryo is covered by the womb, and the living entity is similarly covered by different degrees of this lust. Purport means in Hindi Tatparya, there are 3 degrees of covering of the living entity by which his pure consciousness is obscured. This covering is but lust under different manifestations like smoke and the fire covered by smoke. Although fire is necessary where there is smoke, there is no manifestation of fire in the early stage. This stage is like the beginning of Krishna consciousness. The dust on the mirror refers to a cleansing process of the mirror of the mind by so many spiritual methods. The best process is to chant the holy name of the Lord. The embryo covered by the womb is an analogy illustrating a helpless position, for the child in the womb is so helpless that he cannot even move. The stage of living condition can be compared to that of the trees. The trees are also living entities, but they have been put in such a condition of by such a great exhibition of lust that they are almost void of all consciousness. The covered mirror is compared to the birds and beasts, and the smoke covered fire is compared to the human being. In the form of a human being, the living entity may revive a little Krishna consciousness, and if he makes further development, the fire of spiritual life can be kindled in the human form of life. By careful handling of the smoke in the fire, fire can be made to blaze. Therefore, the human form of life is a chance for the living entity to escape the entanglement of material existence. In the human form of life, one can conquer the enemy lost by cultivation of Krishna consciousness under able guidance. So, respected people, I'm here reading two sloka of chapter number 3 of Bhagavad Gita. I hope you would like to listen and watch. I will be coming very next day again with Bhagavad Gita. If you really like, then please listen and like the press button and subscribe my channel. Thank you very much. Jai Shri Krishna. Radhe Radhe.